Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Sex, Death, and Shared Finances. This is a intuitive channeling of the astrological energies of the Leo full moon that we have in our sky on the 28th, which is a very special day as well because this full moon is ruled by the sun. So it talks about divine union, sun and moon. At the same time, the sun is conjunct Jupiter, which is our luck, our hope, our purpose, almost like a second sun. It's spinning so many worlds around. So it's really special energy here. There is a strong energy of challenge, of confrontation, of getting ahead really from the right place. The heart infused by purpose. So archetypally, the king and the queen energy is addressed because Leo, it's a cat. It's a big cat, and a cat holds the secret of ruling with grace, the art of allowing, being in the Tao. I'm with this white cat here, and basically the cat is awake, what we call awake, 45 minutes a day. The rest of the time, this cat is doing the mystery of soul, is weaving some spaces together there. And in that way, also being with a cat reminds me that they are a memory of ancient Egypt, they are a memory of Atlantis, and they remind us that that space of mastery and instant manifestation is available to us. Like the cat is served, and Leo is very much that energy of being served, as opposite to Aquarius, which is the world server. Of course, integration of those two are what we are working with in this full moon. It's an opportunity to master timing, to master feeling, to be like the sun, undistracted, purposeful, there every day at the same time, altruistic, while decoding at the same time our instincts, our moon, and what that is meaning to us here. So the sun is always opposite the moon when we have a full moon, right? So that's natural. But having this conjunction at the same time, Jupiter is going to be very inspired to shower us with opportunity and wisdom. So when we have a conjunction, two energies meet and there's a blended yet entirely new and fresh being born. Now these conjunctions are happening for us on the fixed cross. So the fixed signs are Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, and Scorpio, the matters that I like to address in this podcast. So when we're on the fixed cross, we want to consider moving from our desire nature into aspiration. And when we look at this cross, Scorpio is empty, but Taurus is plenty of energy. That's the opposite sign. And we've done already in 2020 a lot of Scorpion shadow work. Taurus is here now. It's a close relationship to the earth, its manifestation, its fertility, its motherhood, its self-worth, and also lack thereof. So that will be addressed, and this full moon can bring that up. So when we have these conjunctions, there is a lot of merging to be dealt with, a lot of integration to be dealt with. Sun and Jupiter in Aquarius, like if we would see this in a personal chart, this would indicate a person with a spiritual maturity that happened because there has been an accumulation of lifetimes of a religious and sometimes a monastic nature. Jupiter and the Sun are both connected to the heart chakra and to purpose. Mercury and Saturn also there. They are laying the new foundations of our society, and they are doing that from the eagle perspective of the Aquarius. One thing that comes up here with this double heart energy and Mercury and Saturn also in the Aquarian team is that, and this is just an intuitive thing that came up, like a shifting of the perspective and of seeing the human condition as a muse. That's a Scorpion dream after all. So if we shift the perspective and think like, okay, actually we're multi-dimensional beings taking a PhD right now in density, in gravity, because we were ready for it, because we could do it. Now we are collectively walking this bridge between the intellect, partly Aquarian, and the intuition, fully Aquarian. Mercury in the last degrees of Aquarius is giving us that, this ability to think from the heart and feel from the mind, a sunrise of the heart, so to speak. The challenge with the spiritual enlightenment that this full moon definitely harbors is Mars, joined by Lilith, a female shadow worker in Taurus. So two things arise here, and I will start with the motivator because that's always nice. So the Japanese concept of Ikigai. Ikigai is a mandala, basically, of three notions. What we love passionately, Leo in moon, I am energy. And also what we loved passionately, I will come back to that. What serves, Sun in Aquarius, Jupiter in Aquarius, Saturn in Aquarius, the world server, the we are energy. And then what we can get paid for, Taurus, self-worth, value, abundance, money, manifestation energy, and more I need. What do I need actually? In the center of those three, so what I love, what serves, and what I can get paid for, we have our purpose, Ikigai. With the full moon happening on the axis of Aquarius and Leo, there's a rediscovery of things that we loved in the past but left behind. So people specifically who have strong Leo and Aquarius, and maybe also Scorpio and Taurus, so fixed cross energy in their chart, this full moon has a wonderful healing potential in regards to the karma that we had manifested in our lives during the summer eclipses of 2017, when there was, for some of us, and perhaps many of us, a painful loss embedded in something that we just found, perhaps through a person, and that made us bury certain aspects of our personality which we no longer saw as functional. But we actually loved some of those parts, and we have buried them, and now they are to be resurrected. With 4 planets in Aquarius, the sign of the healer, the sign of the healing arts, of wishes, of hopes, of friendship, this full moon can revive those buried artistic expressions of ourselves and inform and beautify Ikigai, and give us an opportunity to befriend old parts of ourselves and integrate them in our lives for potential healing. It's a relationship full moon as well, so this can be in regards to people. A full moon is always a harvest, and it's a release, so it can be about releasing the people that brought that up and that made us bury those parts of ourselves, by integrating these parts again in our life. So it's a full moon to sit under and ask very simple question: what do I love? What do I truly, truly love? If I am the objective observer of myself, if I watch myself alone under the moonlight, what would I naturally be doing? And also, Leo energy, the child, playfulness. What were you doing as a child? What was your secret moon behavior as a child? And these parts, they are so accessible to us now. So that's something that I really would like to communicate here with this full moon. And the second thing that comes up with Mars in Taurus square is the collective challenge of laying new foundations for a new, mature masculine force in both women and men, of course. With that, there's an invitation to remove obstacles by bringing to light the shadow expressions of the masculine archetype, particularly the king and the warrior archetype. Because in Leo, we work in the shadow with the tyrant and the weakling, and hopefully soon the king in his fullness. Some of us might be feeling that, like asking ourselves, where are these mature masculine energies? Mars in Taurus addresses the warrior, and it kind of brings us only to phase 2 of a 12-step program to rework that masculine energy of the warrior. We had 6 months of Mars in Aries, which is the warrior energy, the coming into incarnation. It stayed there so long, collaborating with the wounded healer, bringing up those childhood wounds, bringing up those this whole marvelous fashion on toxic and wounded masculinity, the shadow sides of the warrior. So now Mars is doing something completely else. It's in a passive receptive sign, Taurus, and there it's looking for Venus. Venus rules Taurus. That kind of self-love, wanting to love leisurely, instead of finding that Venusian ideal. Mars there meets Black Moon Lilith, a shadow worker. So this once more talks about this challenge of overcoming personal desires in order to harvest this new collective way of the heart, Aquarius and Leo energies integrated. It also speaks of working with one's raw sexual energy, our vitality. So on a personal level, it has an energy of sexual revelation, of meeting people who spark that within us and show us where there is a desire to be transmuted into collective aspiration, collaboration with others, blended energy, an energy of conjunctions here in January. Let's not forget that. Let's remember that better in the positive. Also, it addresses our use of resources. Once again, how can we use Isvara, the earthly resources, in a selfless way? From a lens of healing, this challenge and this new masculine, mature masculine, desiring to be born, desiring to grow in each and every one of us. Christ consciousness rising, heart energy rising. So from a lens of healing, this can result in men connecting with feminine plant medicine, ayahuasca, plant-based diet also, that alchemically changes the body. Also alien sort of organisms that exist on this earth, mushroom energy, and I'm not just talking psychedelics, it is not the road for everyone, but medicinal mushrooms, that they're all medicinal and everything is medicine, of course, but medicinal plants will make a even stronger comeback in this era. Our bodies are the memory of what we ate, so a healthy sense of feeding oneself, a healthy sense of taking good care of oneself, it serves the collective enormously. This whole fashion, we can call it as well, of yoga is a good fashion because we take care of our body. Of course, there are side roads that are taking and detours that show us the ego in all its splendor, and I mean, we can get carried away also by a healing story. We can get carried away by wanting to perfect the body without addressing the deeper layers of self. This brings me to the Sabian symbol of the Sun and Jupiter here at 9 degrees of Aquarius. A flag turning into an eagle. The eagle, it's Scorpion. It's rising from the ashes, it's the phoenix, but it's also the eagle view, the macro perspective, looking at the great cosmic play through the ages. And it's still easy in our time to be carried away by a story. When there is a strong emotional trigger, Mars, or for some people, even more when there is a strong sexual trigger, Mars and Lilith in Taurus. These are two karma creative energies in an embrace. We have to remember that Saturn only began his job in Aquarius, 5 weeks ago? That's not so long. And he carries the karma of the world server. All those times that we thought we were doing something altruistic, or we wanted to do something altruistic, we had that aspiration, but somehow we came out of that still feeling unloved, and this not enoughness kept us seeing our own divinity, seeing ourselves from a place of heart. It's something to consider. The Leo full moon, it wants you to acknowledge and love the divine child within you. We have to babysit our own ego really well. And that means also to take very good care of our own body for our sense of self-worth. So others don't have to do that for us. So we don't externalize that. So we can evolve to a place where our personal arts heal the collective, and where every human is intrinsically a healer, a star made of stardust. So where everyone can diffuse that energy of healing just by their presence. Something to consider with this full moon is And this healing of the divine child and really acknowledging and cherishing it is the power of the word. And to remember that I am, this is a divine expression. These are very powerful words. And this full moon is a perfect day to fall in love with your higher self while acknowledging that our body is a humbling teacher. And that we can, when we cherish it and take good care of it, embody our purpose all the more and unleash it upon the world in such a graceful, king-like way. Now, on a more romantic note, because Leo, it's soulmate love. So with this energy, this is a moon of meeting the love of your life. I have to say it, the luckiest day, remember? The dead body of this full moon is the way we loved before 2020. And one way of loving has definitely ended with Pluto conjunct Venus here. There is a transformation of the way we love. In the 12th house of the sun, this conjunction is alerting us to this end of one way of loving by showing us the new potential within our imagination. This is an invitation to imagine, to visualize everything new is possible in love. Leo governs romance and this art or leisure, depending on your perspective, because they are in the same energy, leisure and art. They took a hard blow in 2020. This was a very sobering energy. Now Saturn is in the 7th house, of this full moon, and it's exalted in a 7th house. We rarely see in synastry astrology, which is placing two charts of two different people on top of one another, we rarely see commitment without the Saturn aspect. This moon celebrates an integration of commitment to a joint purpose in coupled ventures. And it also favors meeting romantic partners with whom love as a gift to the world is possible. This full moon is good news for awakening genuine, sustainable love within oneself. It's about committing to the new way that you are going to love and be in relationship. A new way that is truly you. Beyond the classical couple, this can mean celibacy or a decisive singleness or polyamory. There's a futuristic stellium in Aquarius, so the sky is the limit basically. But there is the courage to affirm one way of loving that we demand for ourselves. King energy, queen energy, we demand it. There's a coming out of the closet all the ways. On an even lighter and more personal note, this is also a great moon to dress up. To dress up and ask yourself, what is it that I've always wanted to wear and never wore? If that is some blockage that you would still be having, this is a great moment to enjoy you. And love is a colorful plate under this full moon. If you would like to know what it means for your sign, I will be co-hosting a love stream. This will be happening Costa Rican time, 8 p.m. on Thursday on the full moon. And you will be able to see it on my Instagram, unfold your soul. So there's a little dot between the unfold and your soul. Please let me know also what comes up under this wolf moon. They call it a wolf moon, the first full moon of the year. If you want to know how it plays out for you, I will link also my website below, so you can book a personal reading if that is something that you are interested in. Thank you for your presence here, and I would also like to know who's watching this, so if you could comment your zodiac sign below, then I can see what resonates with whom, and if you are there, that's also nice to know that you are there. I send you so much love for this love moon, and I hope to connect with you soon. Namaste.